This is the new Ferrari hardtop version of the Portofino, and it's a little bit like Giorgio Armani aftershave because it's aroma. Talk you through the exterior design, the interior, the practicality. I'm going to tell you what's good about it, what's not so good about it. I'm probably going to do some donuts in it, even though it's not mine. And of course, see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour and over the standing quarter mile. Because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Car Wow. Let's start this video by talking about the design of the Roma, because Ferrari still manages to design great looking engines. It's a 3.9 litre twin turbo V8 which drives the rear wheels via an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. This thing puts out 620 horsepower and 760 newton meters of torque, and it's supposed to be capable of 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, but we'll find out about that a bit later in the video when I launch the car. Front mid-mounted, which means it's behind the front axle for improved weight distribution. None of you hanging out over the front for understeer nonsense. This is a Ferrari after all. Now let's talk about the design properly. And I haven't needed to bring the Car Wow stick of truth with me today because there's no fakery on this Ferrari. Ferrari don't mess around with that stuff. For instance, look, 4 exhaust pipes, all of which are real, all of which are beautiful. In fact, the rear end of this car is absolutely stunning. Moving down the side, this is based on the Portofino, but obviously it's got a hard-top coupe body. It's also ever so slightly wider and sits low to the ground. It just makes it look meaner. Moving to the front, yeah, this is a real stunning nose, isn't it? Ferrari calls this design language La Nuovo Dolce Vita, which means the new sweet life. Looks a little bit like an Aston Martin Vantage with hints of Jaguar F-Type. Now let's talk about the price. So the Ferrari Roma starts at £171,000. However, if you've just bought one and you want to sell it, you can now sell it for £200,000. Such is the case with used cars, fetching a lot more money than they used to because of the chip shortage. In fact, if you want to cash in on your current used car, so, does the Roma feel like a car that's worth £171,000? Well, I have to say, here on the inside, yes it does. So the design is really nice. Quality feels good. It feels very sporty as well. I love the steering wheel. Carbon fibre on this one with shift-up lights, big carbon fibre gear shift paddles. You've also got a huge digital driver's display. It's nice and clear. However, it's not the easiest to use, and it is a little bit slow to respond and laggy. Yeah, they should have put a better processor chip in this because that's not as fast as a car that is as fast as this deserves. You've also got the central infotainment screen here as well, which does your climate and your audio and your sat nav. I quite like the design of that. It's big enough. Now, it's a bit like what Mercedes do in the S-Class, but, you know, Mercedes can't get it right. So do you think Ferrari are going to be able to? Sort of like an open manual gate. It's a real nod to that. It's very, very nice. Seats are good as well, as is the seating position. A Ferrari always nails that. What they don't nail is this, look. You've got some storage in this one, and this is light, so this feels more expensive. And oh, look at that! You can actually get a little display for the passenger, and you can have information such as your sat nav and stuff like that, as well as performance, so they can see how quick you're going and how many revs you're pulling as well. There's some more door bins here, but you're not going to fit anything in those. They're quite tiny. And there's a bit of storage there, which is a bit more useful. These little slots there, which, I don't know. The touch sensitive stop-start button means you can accidentally touch it like that, then all of a sudden your ignition comes on. I love this little detail, look. When you change the gear selector from manual to automatic, press the button, and you get this little red LED light that's almost like a laser going into the letter. Most car satellite navigation will be 3 route options. They'll give you the quickest, the shortest, and the most eco-friendly. You get 3 options with this, but while you have fast and the shortest, you don't have eco, you have fun. It'll actually plot you the most fun route. Look, this is my journey into Buckingham Palace because I've got to see the Queen later for my knighthood, and it's chosen a fun route there, so I'll be taking that. Thank you very much. I've never got into the back of this before. Let's see what happens. Come on, seat, move out the way. Let's talk about the boot. These kind of cars don't have very big boots, but this one isn't too bad. 272 litres, no load lip either, so you can slide things in and out. Oh, practicality in the Ferrari. You know what? You can actually get an option where you can fold down the rear seats, which gives you then 345 litres of space. But you have to tick it when you're buying the car and pay extra. Don't know why it's not standard. It's annoying. In fact, it brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. An expensive looking car should have an expensive looking key, and at first glance the Roma's is. Look, it's got this leather rectangle with Roma badge there, but it's just stuck onto this cheap and nasty. While loads of manufacturers have very muted engines with soft limiters and turbochargers just ruining the noise, not with a Ferrari. Go on, start it up. Oh yeah, let's have some reps. I love the way the car spoiler has been integrated beautifully into the bodywork. It's so seamless, and when you're going over a certain speed it pops up, and it also acts as an air brake. Okay, let's take this Ferrari Roma for a drive. And first things first, let's talk about practicalities. So you've got a big windscreen, and even though you've got a long bonnet, it's quite easy to place the front of the car because the wings pop up and it gives you some way of aiming. Door mirrors are large as well, and for a sporty car, the view at the back is surprisingly good. The only problem is this big pillar here, which does create quite a blind spot. But enough of that nonsense. Let's go into manual mode, take control, and have a proper drive. But that is the thing about the Roma. You can drive it around town every day. It's quite an everyday Ferrari. And that brings on to the suspension, because it's fun, like you'd expect a sporty car to be. You can actually get adaptive dampers for this, which have a bumpy mode setting, and I probably would just fit them just because, but really you don't actually need it. Anyhow, twisty road, so it's a bit of fun. Whereas this is more progressive, more natural. I like it. You can get into a flow with this car, just flow along the road. Obviously the gearbox, oh my gosh, this is a responsive dual clutch gearbox. It's good in auto mode, but really you want to drive it in manual, take control. And it helps that the pedals are nice and big because you can always hit the gear change when you want it. Not that you need to change gears loads in this car because the engine is really punchy, really punchy, which is good because that means that you can really control the car on the throttle quite easily, and the body itself nice and flat in the bends, really trustworthy, plenty of grip as well, and the brakes, carbon ceramics are standard like with every Ferrari, not grabby at all, nice and progressive. They do carbon ceramics so well. All in all, this is a very nice sporty car to drive when you're getting to your destination, or you're having to take the motorway. It works well then as well. So whack it into automatic, sit back, let the gearbox do its thing, cruise along, put your cruise control on. The big wheels and tyres do kick up a bit of road noise. I don't think it's worse than a Porsche 911, it's probably slightly better actually. It's lighter as well. It's actually 100 kilos lighter than the Portofino on which it's based, which does make it feel more responsive. You can do loads of miles in this, have fun in this, poodle around town and look cool in this. It does all that you want it to. It really does. Shall we launch it now then? Right, let's see what this thing can do 0 to 60 in. It's very greasy out there. I'm a little bit frightened as well. Let's do it. Considering it's skidding around as it is. Oh my god, this is just loose. Right, this track is like ice. There's bits of traction and there's none, and 0 to 60 was 4.17 seconds. It's only caught at 11.85. I know this thing is quicker, but it's sketchy. Had to launch it in sport mode, otherwise it's just going to step out sideways and there's barriers either side. I don't want it smashing into one of those. So 4.7. When it's greasy, and this is a high-performance rear-wheel drive car, isn't too bad. I want to get it in the dry and see what it's like then. That's for another day, though. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Let me know some other videos you'd like to see in the comments below. In fact, did you agree with my verdict?